Vsauce. I'm Jake, and this is my, sleeping wig. It's kind of weird that you're in my bedroom right now, but I'm glad you are because I've been hearing strange noises. Have you ever been in your bed and you hear the closet door slowly creak open? Or you hear footsteps on the floor above you even though there's nobody there? Or sometimes you just don't feel alone, like there's someone or something under your bed. Maybe a specter, phantom, or an apparition, all commonly known as ghosts. Oh, hello there. Ghosts have played a very important role in fiction and in real life for a very long time. In Homer's The Iliad and Odyssey, written during the 8th century BC, ghosts were commonplace. In the 1st century AD, the Roman Pliny the Younger wrote a letter about a restless spirit with rattling chains haunting his home. During the Elizabethan era, demonology, the study of demons and demonic beliefs, was incredibly popular. During this time, Shakespeare rose to prominence and wrote a lot about ghosts. He used them in Macbeth, Richard III, and in Hamlet. This is only one of my many leather-bound books, ladies. Believing in ghosts or spirits was a lot more common back then. Even wanting to contact or communicate with them was normal. And sometimes it would turn paranormal. Come with me. Seances became frequent in the mid-19th century, and they often happened in people's homes privately around a table like this, and the lights would be dimmed. You'd have a medium, someone who was able to connect to the spirit world, and then you'd have sitters or spectators. It was an opportunity for the living to hear from loved ones or hear wisdom from foreign ghosts. It was also a form of entertainment. During a seance, the table might spin, shake, or levitate, and the spirits were able to use the table as a way to communicate by using knocks to let their presence known. Mary Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln's wife, used to hold seances in the White House after the death of their son. They were even attended by the president himself. There were also high-profile non-believers. Harry Houdini spent a fair amount of time debunking mediums by recreating their incredible feats, because he knew, in reality, they were just like him, illusionists. The SPR, the Society of Psychical Research, was founded in the United Kingdom in 1882 with the purpose of understanding paranormal and psychic events and explaining them scientifically. There were other groups like the US variant, the American Society of Psychical Research, or my favorite, the frankly named Ghost Club. What they found was a lot of fraud. Eva C. was a medium who could materialize a 300-year-old spirit named Bien Boa that turned out to just be a normal man wearing a beard and cloak. Helen Duncan could produce ectoplasm, a physical representation of spiritual energy, which in reality was cheesecloth and a rubber glove. Or there were the Davenport brothers who would be tied up in their spirit cabinet with instruments that the spirits would play once the cabinet door was closed. During a show, a magician tied a proper knot with their ropes, and once the door was closed, no instruments were played. But at the time, a lot of this was new, and when you're in an intimate setting, in a dimly lit room, the power of suggestion is, well, powerful. Especially when you have the emotional investment of trying to contact the ghost of somebody that you loved. For example, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, got interested in spiritualism after the deaths of his wife, his son, and a large portion of his family in a short period of time. He was also involved in the Society of Psychical Research and the Ghost Club. He even wrote a book called The History of Spiritualism. Unlike other authors, however, Doyle didn't continue to write books after his death. I haven't been in the attic in years. Oh man. V.C. Andrews. She's a New York Times best-selling author, and this book, Flowers in the Attic, made her an overnight literary success. In fact, she's published over 70 books in the last 24 years alone, even though V.C. Andrews has been dead for 28. She died in 1986 at the age of 63, and at the time had published 7 novels. During the pre-internet era, unless you had read about Andrew's death, you'd have no real idea that she wasn't the one writing the books. But it's not a ghost writing the books, just a ghost writer, unlike Illinois State University where the books are supposedly haunted. Angie Milner was the school's first librarian, and when she died, she didn't haunt the library. Instead, she haunts the old books and wherever they go. Then there are other haunted objects like ghost ships with the famous Flying Dutchman, ghost trains with the St. Louis Light, which is a glowing orb that travels down a set of abandoned train tracks. Or my personal favorite, a German woman whose oven would speak to her in English when she would open the door. What she thought was a ghost turned out to be a semiconductivity event. A gap between 2 of her metal appliances started picking up radio signals. So there are ghost objects, ghost clubs, and in some countries you can even get ghost married. But why is it that we never see ghost dinosaurs or ghost animals? Did that deerhead just talk? This house is making me feel crazy, but I'm not crazy. I don't think you're crazy, Jake. Thank you, finally somebody who speaks a little bit of sense. But I believe that there is a ghost in here right now. And that ghost is you. No, wait, just hear me out here. In the 1940s, biophysicist Dr. Paul Ebersold discovered that in a year, 98% of all of our atoms are replaced, an atomic turnover. Not only that, but a lot of our cells are constantly changing. The cells in your stomach only last 5 days before becoming new, becoming different. We shed about 50 million skin cells a day and then new ones grow, so it brings up the question, are you still you? Or are you a reproduction? Let's say I have a hammer, and after a while I change the head, and then a while later I change the handle. Is it still the same hammer? Ah, the Theseus paradox. If we are constantly changing the atoms that create us, those basic elements that combine who we are we still us? Or are we just a memory of what we used to be? An idea of what we once were, an imprint, a ghost of what we wanted to be. And as always, thanks for watching.